My boss mocked me for eating poor people lunches, so I catered his meeting with my restaurant. I used to work in corporate sales, one of those offices that smelled like burnt coffee and anxiety. I was fresh out of college, couldn't afford nice suits, and packed my lunch every day to save money. Usually rice, beans, maybe chicken if it was on sale. My boss, Greg, hated me from day one. He was the kind of guy who wore watches worth more than my rent, and thought sarcasm counted as leadership. He'd walk by my desk during lunch and smirk. "Beans again, chef?" Or, "You gotta treat yourself someday, man." At first, I laughed it off, but it got worse. One time during a team meeting, someone complimented my work, and Greg said, "Yeah, he's efficient. Probably meal preps his emails in Tupperware, too." Everyone laughed. My face burned, but I stayed quiet. I couldn't afford to quit. That winter, our company started struggling. Layoffs everywhere. Greg called a meeting and said, "We're restructuring. Some of you might not make the cut." I was one of the first let go. No warning, no reason, just, "It's not personal, kid. Budget cuts." I packed my desk while he chatted about golf behind me. Before I left, he patted my shoulder and said, "Hey, at least you won't have to eat beans anymore." I swore right there I'd never let that man see me small again. The next year was brutal. Part-time jobs, side gigs, late nights. But something clicked. I was good at cooking. I'd always been mocking myself for living cheap, but I realized I actually enjoyed finding ways to make flavor out of nothing. So I started a food stall selling the very meals I used to pack for work. Affordable, but actually good. People loved it. Within 2 years, I expanded to a food truck, then one small restaurant. Hustle, sweat, repeat. And somehow it worked. By year 4, we were profitable enough to do corporate catering for local offices. Guess which company called us one day? Yep, Greg's. I didn't recognize the name at first. Not until I saw the requested drop-off address. Same building, same floor. I almost said no, but something in me wanted closure. So, I accepted the order. Added a little note on the invoice. Special delivery from the Tupperware chef. When I brought the trays up personally, Greg was in the conference room bragging to someone on a phone call. He looked up, squinted like he'd seen a ghost, and said, "Wait, you work in catering now?" I smiled. "No, I own it." He blinked. Speechless. I dropped the food on the table. Rice, beans, roasted chicken, fresh salsa. The same lunch he used to mock, but perfected. Everyone in the room started complimenting the food within minutes. One exec even asked for business cards. Before I left, I leaned toward Greg and said quietly, "Guess beans aren't so bad, huh?" Then I walked out. A week later, his company signed us for a monthly contract. It wasn't petty revenge, just poetic. The same man who ridiculed my lunches now indirectly paid for them by the dozen. Sometimes people think success has to look flashy. New cars, suits, flexing online. But for me, it's simpler. Success is standing where someone once made you feel small, and realizing you outgrew the room.